Hi friends, Vinay Kumar here, International NLP and IAS coach. In this video, my dear friends, I'm going to share with you what is the best thing to do when exam gets postponed, when the prelims exam like this gets postponed by 3 to 4 months. So it's not just applicable for now, for this year. Anytime when it gets postponed, when you have just, let's say, 1 month to exam, what's the best thing to do, my dear friends? That's number one. The what, I'm going to talk about the what, my dear friends, what to do. And whatever I'm going to share with you is the best thing to do, my dear friends. How to do, that's what this video is going to address, my dear friends. Okay, watch till the video gets completed, because you're going to understand the things in greater, understand the things with greater clarity, my dear friends. Okay, so let's begin now. Number one, what should be the course of preparation for the next 3 to 4 months when the exam gets postponed by whatever time it has got postponed, like the way it gets postponed now. I assume all those of you who have applied for the exam and who had decided to take it up at any cost this time must have completed at least one full round of reading, if not revision. One full round of reading. At least you would have read one textbook for each subject, and you would have completed all the subjects by now, is my assumption, my dear friends. Even if you have not completed, let's say, reading all the subjects of General Studies paper 1 or the CSAT paper, what is the best thing that you can do now is what I'm going to tell you now, my dear friends. I look at it this way. I look at it as May 15th to June 30th, 45 days, July 1st to August 15th, 45 days, August 15th to the end of September, 45 days. So I look at it as 345 days, 3 into 45. 45 is an important number because it's considered a strategic period for achieving many of your goals, my dear friends. 45 days, okay? So what is very important when you're planning, you need to plan taking into consideration the fact that for the first 45 days, second and third, I'm going to study in such a way that Pareto principle is applied. Now, what is this Pareto principle? You know, the 80:20 rule, my dear friends. Got that? What I'm trying to tell you. So, in one of my videos, I think in ethics, my dear friends, I've gone into detail of Pareto principle. You can go and learn it in detail. But here, how I have tried to apply Pareto principle is as simple as this, my dear friends. In the 45 days, first 45 days, when you're planning, you must have one component that accounts for 80% of the time and efforts that you're going to invest in your preparation. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Please don't do a khichdi of things. I have seen students, I have come across aspirants planning where they have a timetable like this. 7 o'clock I wake up, I get ready by 8 to 10 o'clock I do this, 10:30 to 12:30, I'll do the aptitude. After that, lunch. Once I come back from lunch, I'll prepare for some subject in the General Studies mains. Then I take a break, I come back, I sit and study. Please don't do khichdi of things, my dear friends. Or people have this practice of doing 2-3 subjects within a day of the prelims only. This is not the time to do that. Maybe if you were doing it when it was, let's say, some 20 days to the exam, that would have been fine. But now that the prelims has got postponed, you need to plan very, very strategically so that you end up doing the right things, my dear friends, and you get the right results. Okay, so when you're planning, just bear this thing in mind. 80%, 20%. 80% you're going to do one subject. Okay, 80% of your time and 80% of the efforts that you're going to put on just one subject in all the 345 days, my dear friends. This 45, this 45, and this 45. Okay, 80% of your time is going to one subject, or to be more specific, one component, my dear friends. What is one component? For example, optional will have two papers in it, but it is one component. Essay is a component in itself. Okay, essay paper. General studies, even though it has 4 different papers and so many subjects in it, I consider that as one component, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Prelims, even though it has so many subjects in it, GS paper 1 can be considered as one component. Are you understanding what I'm trying to tell you? As I explain to you things, as I get into the details of this, you're going to appreciate it even better, my dear friends. So let's start with what to do in the first component in conditions like this. Now, the 80% you don't have to go just by my prescription or by my suggestion, my dear friends. You know best where you stand in your preparation, what you have done well, what you should still do well, and all that. So you can go by your wisdom, my dear friends. But I am taking a normal, I'm taking into consideration the fact that most of you have completed one round of one round of comprehension for your prelims, and you have also done something related to mains in the past before you started your preparation for prelims. All that I've taken into consideration, I'm giving you this plan, my dear friends. Now, what do we do in the first 45 days? In the first 45 days, the 80% should go to one component, and that component is optional for your mains, my dear friends. You need to gain mastery in the optional subject. Why you have to gain mastery in the optional subject now? It's because as you get closer to the prelims, it becomes difficult for you to read the optional, number one. Number two, optional is any day a subject to bank upon for your scoreability in the mains. You know what is score ability, right? You know, ability to score more marks. Fair enough, my dear friends. So, in comparison to GS, optional is a good bet because the time that the efforts that you invest on optional will reap lot of dividends, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? So, it has proper framework. You have many previous year questions repeating again. So it's not only is it easier to gain mastery in optional, but also, my dear friends, if you can make some useful pointers, useful terminologies, useful jargons, if you can make a list of all of it, my dear friends, and useful statistics, and keep it for now. After your prelims, you just have to revise them. You don't have to worry much about these elements of the optional, which gives you that extra 2 to 3 marks per answer that you write. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Perfect. So, first 45 days, 80% of your time and efforts, let it go to optional. 20% you choose, my dear friends. You choose. It's a combination of subjects or combination of things that you do. It's completely up to you. If you feel you are not good at aptitude, please do that. If you feel there were some subjects of prelims that you have to study, please do that. Or anything for that matter. It's up to you, my dear friends. But please retain that 20%. Even if you're doing optional, do it for only 80% of time, and remaining 20% of time you will have to devote to some other area of preparation. Is that okay, my dear friends? Okay? You know it best what to do in the 20%. Please do that. First 45 days, the ruler is optional, 80%. Okay, gain mastery in optional and see to that you score really well. You know, your overall score, the total score is very good in mains because you aced it in optional. Is that okay, my dear friends? Second 45 days, When you come to second 45 days, again two components, my dear friends. 80%, 20%. 80% of the time, you will have to concentrate on general studies mains. That is, if we are talking in the present context, starting from July 1st to 15th of August, you need to concentrate on the areas of general studies mains, my dear friends. Okay, you have some, areas that requires greater degree of technical competence, like for example, the international relations or the governance or the security issues, the society of paper 1, and economy, my dear friends, for the mains, economy for the mains. These areas, require greater level of working with them. You need in-depth knowledge, you need very good contextual knowledge for these subjects, my dear friends. Are you connecting to contextual knowledge? See, international relations, you may just know what happened with Afghanistan this year, or let's say what happened with Japan or Israel this year in bilateral relations of India. But you need to have the context, like why Afghanistan is important for us. Why India always seeks to have friendly relations with Afghanistan? What do you understand by strategic depth of Pakistan into Afghanistan, and which India wants? So all this gives you the contextual knowledge of international relations. Even in governance, my dear friends, you may get questions from recent times, from some recent incidents or happenings, but then you need the contextual background knowledge to be able to appreciate what is happening right now. Is that okay, my dear friends? Perfect. That's the second 45 days for you. Second 45 days, what you are doing, 80% of the time your focus is going to be on general studies papers. Okay, general studies papers, my dear friends. Probably, even if you're not doing ethics, integrity, aptitude, then the other 3 papers you will have to gain good mastery in, my dear friends. Now, there may be a question, sir, is 45 days enough for optional mastery here, or is 45 days enough for GS mastery here? It's definitely not enough. Not 45 days, even months together is not enough, frankly speaking. Okay, but what I'm only, see, I am assuming that you've already done something about these areas in the past. Something. I don't say you have done something great, but you have got exposed to the areas. You at least know what is what. Got it? No, I'm trying to. Now you go into the depth and gaining mastery over those areas. Is that okay, my dear friends? When it comes to optional, out of the 2 papers, at least 1 paper, if you can gain mastery during the 45 days, or at 2 sections from 2 papers, I think you have done a great job, my dear friends. Great job. You have done justice to your preparation. Is that okay? And the second 45 days, like I told you, 2 components. 80% you will concentrate on general studies mains, especially these areas which requires context building and all that, my dear friends. And 20% again, I leave it to your discretion, my dear friends. You can do whatever you do. Even this you can do whatever. This is just my prescription going by my experience of 15 years of training for civil service aspirants, my dear. What's the best thing to do? Okay. Now, the third 45, 80% of the time, I'm talking about August 15th to end of September. 80% of time concentrate on paper 1 of prelims, and 20% of the time concentrate on paper 2 of prelims. Other than prelims, in the last 45 days to prelims, please don't do anything, my dear friends, other than preparing for prelims. Is that okay? Now, when there is good time to prepare for mains, do it. Then don't take panga, my dear friends. Got that? No, I'm trying to tell you. Now is the time to do whatever best you can do to improve your scores in the mains. Got that? No, I'm trying to tell you. But then please make sure, my dear friends, all your focus goes towards prelims. See, 80%, 20%, both you will have to devote to prelims only, my dear friends. Then, is that okay? Perfect, my dear friends. Awesome. Now, having said that, so if these are the three things that I would like to mention in the what to do in the coming 90 plus 45, 135 days to the prelims, my dear friends. The important question, even a question that is even more important than this, how to do it, I would like to address now, my dear friends. And this is very, very important. When it comes to how, always remember, my dear friends, results come when you take actions. All other things aside, my dear friends, all the ego justifications aside, okay, all ego justifications aside, the difference between someone who has cleared the prelims and who has not cleared the prelims is the gap of actions. If you take right actions at right time or within the right time, you will get the right results, my dear friends. So there is all other things that we give as reasons or excuses is just a case of our ego justification, my dear friends. We just need to take right actions. Okay. So if you ask me, how do I, how do I complete so much, let's say doing optional and general studies mains and again gaining mastery over the prelims areas and all that, the key is execution. Execution, my dear friends. You have to take actions. Now this execution, I'll go into slightly greater detail so that you're able to appreciate what is required for you to execute. Two things, my dear friends. Again, execution, you have two important components. One is motivation. Another is accountability, my dear friends. What do you need to execute? You need motivation and you need accountability. Now you will be wondering, my dear friends, why? I mean, do I have to be motivated to take actions? It's like this, my dear friends. As you all know, any action has an associated feeling with it. Do you know there are some days when you don't feel like studying? It's very difficult for you to actually sit and study, concentrate. But there are days when you feel like studying, you study so effortlessly. In the sense that it is used here, the term motivation, in the sense that I'm using it here, it only means this, my dear friends. Giving yourself those feelings which will drive the necessary actions. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? In the sense that I have used here, it just means this, nothing else. You having access to feelings that will ensure you to take prompt actions. It will ensure you to take timely actions. That is motivation for me, nothing else, my dear friends. Okay, that is motivation. And as human beings, we all need those emotions, those feelings to be able to do more, to be able to take the timely actions, actions in the magnitude it is required, the quality it is required and all that, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Perfect. Now, how do you get motivated? People ask me questions. There are certain things around motivation that I would like to share with you, my dear friends. People ask me a question. Sir, motivation is temporary. I sometimes open some good YouTube motivation channels and I watch it. But after a while that motivation is gone and I would have slipped back to my old ways of lethargy and complacency, procrastination and all that. So, isn't it useless? Now, do you call bathing as useless because you do it every day? See, you bathe today. Yeah, tomorrow you will have to bathe again. Is that useless? Are you understanding, my dear friends? So, motivation is like that. You have to do it every day. It's not something that you do it now and think of yourself as some super powerful person who will do things with that motivation for months together. No, you can't do that, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? This is something that you have to do it every day. And for a serious IAS aspirant, it's important to do it as frequently as possible, my dear friends. I'm not saying you always have to look out for motivation, external motivation. No, at least internally, the language that you use with yourself has to motivate you. It will have to drive, it will have to create those feelings that can drive actions. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Perfect. So that's number one. Okay, so please don't think it's okay if you get motivated once and you can. No, it's not going to work like that. It has to be frequent and it has to be proactively done without waiting for your without waiting for your mood or your tempo to go down, my dear friends. Make sure you're proactively motivating yourself so that you're continuously taking actions. Is that okay? Perfect. That's number one. Number two, people ask me, sir, me and my girlfriend or me and my boyfriend, we are both aspirants. We keep motivating each other. I say that's the worst form of motivation you can have, my dear friends. I'm sorry, I have myself experienced in the last 15 years of being here, associated with the UPSC exam preparation. I have seen a lot of people supporting each other, the boy and girl or two good friends supporting each other and motivating each other to success. But remember one thing, my dear friends, it's a long-term game. UPSC is a long-term game. One exam cycle extends to more than 1 year, my dear friends. Okay? Your friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whoever it is, remember, is always your comfort zone. Is your comfort zone. They are good for you for comfort, but not for growth. Growth requires a different degree of motivation, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Perfect. So, either for accountability or for motivation, your friend or whoever, your partner or whosoever, they're not maybe best, my dear friends. Okay, even if we are not calling it the worst, at least they are not the best source of motivation or accountability, my dear friends, because they are your comfort zone, and respect them like that. It's always good to keep comfort zone as comfort zone and growth zone as growth zone. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? It's always good to do that so that you're not confused, so that you get the best out of life. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you? Perfect. Now, having said that, my dear friends, okay, this is motivation. This is about the motivation, which is very important for execution, my dear friends. Coming to accountability, why we all have to be held accountable? Why a serious IAS aspirant who knows that he is serious, who knows that he is focused, has to be held accountable? It's as simple as this. We are humans, and as human beings, however serious we may be in our life, however focused we may be in our life, we are all prone, we are all vulnerable to cravings, to inclinations, to distractions. Are you understanding, my dear friends? As humans, it's very normal, very natural for us to experience distractions. So it's too important, my dear friends, to have someone hold us to account. And the someone who holds us to account, I don't think parents or your friends or your boyfriend, girlfriend are going. Again, all of these people fall into the category of comfort zone. They are there for a reason in our life. They give us that psychological, emotional comfort, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm, and comfort zone, remember, is very different from the growth zone. Growth always requires you to go that extra mile, experience that pain, doing, what do you call, doing things beyond your limitation, beyond what your mind and body is allowing you to do in terms of preparation. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? So get right system, my dear friends. Get a coach, get a right system in place to see that you do things on time and you do things promptly. If your motivation is taken care of, my dear friends, accountability is taken care of, I'll tell you, there is very, very great chance of you becoming successful in the exam, my dear friends. Got that? I'm trying to. Both, see, people ask me questions, sir, is only motivation and accountability enough? Shouldn't I? See, there is so much of knowledge in the internet. There is no deficit of knowledge at all. There is, including my own videos, my dear friends. You have access to so much knowledge in the internet space. Okay, so that is not at all an issue. There is knowledge, but do I feel like using it? Am I doing it on time? Am I doing it with the quality that I have to do? That's the question. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to tell you, my dear friends? Perfect. So in a very basic sense, I have introduced what is the key to success, which I told you as execution, my dear friends. And execution is driven by motivation and accountability. If motivation and accountability is taken care of, you actually take actions, and when you take actions, you get the results that you desire and you deserve. Is that okay, my dear friends? Perfect. Now, if you have resonated with this learning, what I've explained to you is, I've just introduced what is motivation and what is accountability. Probably in one of my subsequent videos, my dear friends, I'll get into the greater details of both these terms, as it is required for civil service aspirants. Is that okay, my dear friends? But if you have resonated with this basic knowledge that you got just now, my dear friends, you may like it, show encouragement so that I can do more videos like this. You may share this video with as many aspirants as possible so that, aspirants gain access to this kind of practical, useful knowledge, my dear friends, experientially useful knowledge. And subscribe to this channel so that you get a lot of correct knowledge that is required for you to clear this exam, my dear friends. Are you connecting to what I'm trying to? Perfect. Thank you very much, my dear friends, for learning from here. See you all in my next video. Thank you.